Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show, the one and only show that brings you ordinary people sharing extraordinary insights. Well, maybe. Here is your host, Chew Effin Lee.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Chew. Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show. How's your weekend? My weekend was pretty interesting. I went to a housewarming party and met up with some family members that I haven't seen for a while. And it was interesting because for some reason one of the guys that he's like a first cousin, a long distant first cousin, and he talked to me about his spiritual experiences. Now, what I found interesting was not the story. Rather, it was more about how he was telling the story that was interesting to me. So what I mean by that is, when you look at people who talk about paranormal activities or spiritual experiences, they are pretty reserved because they fear ridicule. You know, they don't want to be made fun of. And this cousin of mine, he was always looking around at who was listening into the story, and he wasn't interested in getting any attention. He was actually trying to avoid getting attention from the people that was listening to our conversation. And then, you know, his facial expressions changed based on the physical reaction of those that were listening to the conversation. So whenever somebody verbally said to him, "Dude, are you sure?" then you can tell that he became more reserved in what he wanted to share. But as soon as those folks that were skeptics or that they left the conversation, he became more animated and more, interested in sharing his stories with me. So when you think about it for yourself, we're all like that. Even myself, I'm still like that. You know, I don't care what people say, but I'm also aware of how people can react and make a big scene, which is not necessary. But we have to remember we cannot control what others think or say or react to our stories or experiences. And so this leads to the topic of today, skeptics, and how do you deal with those folks. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a skeptic, okay? I think being skeptic is also healthy, but we have to be thoughtful of these skeptics as well. I know it can be difficult to be thoughtful and mindful of them, especially when they are attacking our stories or our experiences or minimizing our experiences. But we have to be mindful that they won't care about how it makes us look like, as far as us sharing our experiences. A lot of their goals, and not all skeptics are this bad, but I'm just talking more of like the worst case scenario. The skeptics who are very, very bad, they already have their minds made up. So whatever we want to tell them about our experiences, they already have an explanation, a theory. And it's mostly coming from a scientific, I guess they're trying to be scientific about it, even though they might have no experience in scientific research. Okay? But that's what they'll say. They'll say stuff like, "Dude, it was probably just you being stressed. It was probably because you were half asleep and you didn't really know what was going on. Or it didn't happen. Maybe there was electrical disturbances." But really, once you experience these paranormal or spiritual experiences, you know how real it is. And there's no one out there who will tell you any different, right? Especially when it comes to experiencing night terrors. that is very, very real to those of us who have experienced it. Now, the skeptics will, even skeptics who have had these experiences, they will try to find some kind of a rational or scientific explanation for why they experienced it. And they're more than welcome to make excuses or find explanations for it. That's totally fine. That's up to them. But when you run into these skeptics, there's really no use of arguing with them, because, like I said, a lot of them have already made up their minds about spirituality, religious beliefs, faith. Skeptics tend to believe what they see, and sometimes that's still not enough. So what they will want to do is they will want some kind of reaction from you when they challenge you on your experiences. And again, the way that I deal with skeptics is, once I feel that they're very defensive, they're not open-minded about talking about this, and they're minimizing people's experiences, even my experiences, the conversation's over at that point for me. I don't want to give them enough time or give them any more time than they've been given to try to make me look like a fool, or make the others, that's sharing their experiences, look like fools. So that's how I would suggest you guys deal with skeptics, especially those, I don't want to call them hardcore, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Just don't give them any more of your time, because they just want their reaction from you, and then if you are not careful enough and you start becoming very defensive, you might actually turn out looking like you have some issues, and then that's not going to be good for anyone, okay? So just keep that in mind. I hope that's going to be helpful for you. So there are the other kind of skeptics who will only believe you if you have the experiences that relates to their own faith or their own morals and values. For example, this is the most common one that I see. And this is not just my generation or the old elders' generation. And I'll try to keep it very close to everybody that's listening to this so that you can relate to it. And I hope you guys don't find this offensive. It's not meant to be offensive. It's more of an example. So a lot of the division in our Hmong community when it comes to religion is mostly a division between shamans and Christians, right? And so the shamans, when shamans become skeptics, and this is generally speaking, okay, I'm not saying all shamans are like this. Shamans will not believe in prayers. They won't believe, I've seen them make fun of people who pray with their eyes closed, and they make fun of believers who go to a certain church that cries a lot and kneels and prays to something that is not seen. Now, on the other hand, there's the Christian skeptics, right? They don't believe in the shamans. They believe that the shamans are doing the devil's work. And it's because they don't pray like Christians do. They don't have a God that the Christians worship. Then the Christians become skeptics of the work of a shaman. So these are kind of like two skeptics who are believers, but they're just not full believers because of their morals and values. Is there anything wrong with that? Personally, I think there is something wrong with it, because the intent and the ultimate goal of Christians and shamans is to heal each other or heal others, right? What hurts me the most is when I see, and now here's something about what I've seen. I've seen some Christians approach shamans for help, and the shamans are pretty open to helping Christians. But then when it's the other way around, I see less of it. And again, this does not apply to all Christians or all shamans, okay? So let's make sure, because I know some people will pick and choose what they want to hear, what I'm saying, and then possibly attack me for it, verbally attack me, hopefully not physical, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, and so when I see, people who believe in shamanism come approach Christians for help, they're more reserved. And again, it's a sad thing. The whole point is when people come seek you out for help, you should be open to help them. And if they want to convert into what your belief system is, you have to allow them time to learn more about what you believe in, so that if they feel like it resonates with them, then they can make that choice to convert or believe or practice what you believe in. Oftentimes, people do not have that patience. They will say to others and turn others away because they say, you need to come back to be a shaman right away, or you need to convert to Christianity right away. And that's not an easy task for anyone. In one of my mentorship course, the very first course, I talk about foundation of faith. And I'm very clear with the person that I'm mentoring, letting them know how important it is to find a faith. And I tell them, I don't need you to go home tonight after the session and pick or choose a faith right away. No, it doesn't work that way. But it is still very important for you to find one, because that'll be your foundation for protection. Okay? So, skeptics, just keep in mind that you cannot control what other people say about what you're sharing, whether it was meant to be for them to hear or they're just listening in onto your conversation. They will interrupt if they want to, and they will give you their quote-unquote 2 cents about things, and sometimes it can come off very rude, insulting, offensive, but you have the ability to remove yourself from that situation. And I encourage that you guys all remove yourself from those situations when you see it. There's really no use for arguing with them. The more you argue, the more you're going to show your reaction to what they're saying. And your guides, your source, your angels, your spirit guides, they don't want you to be in that situation. They want you to feel at peace. They want you to feel loved. They want you to know that what you experience is real, and that's all that matters, is what you experience. Okay? There are certain situations where some people experience certain quote-unquote spiritual experiences or paranormal activity, and for those exceptions, there's usually like a mental health issue related to that person. And I think I've already talked about those instances already. If not, I'll talk about it again. But I remember maybe I didn't do a show on that. Maybe it was more of a conversation I had with somebody. But I'll probably do that very soon here for those exceptions, okay? All right, folks. I hope wherever you are, it's warm. Better than what we're experiencing here in the Twin Cities. We had some areas in the Twin Cities received 3 to 6 inches of snow yesterday. That's why I don't like Minnesota, but damn, I'm still here. Whatever. Yeah, so I hope you guys are in a warmer area. I think we're supposed to be getting warmer weather by the end of March here. And if we are getting towards the end of March, what am I saying? Well, hopefully April will be a lot better for us. I think this will be the last snowstorm that we have. It wasn't even really a storm, but I think every year in Minnesota, especially in the Twin Cities, we usually have one last snowstorm before spring or summer officially kicks in. And I think what we just experienced yesterday is that last snowstorm of the year here. All right, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Take it easy. Oh, one more thing. I created a page at hmongpeeps.com under my profile. So if you guys want to contact me for a session and want to get to know a little bit more about me, a lot of you already know enough about me. But for those of you who are new to the Hmong Peeps show or the whole Empowerment for Spiritually Gifted Hmong Peeps Facebook page, and you want to get to know a little bit more about what I do, I'll have the link on this video somewhere, and you can just certainly click it, and then you get to read a little blurb about me and what I do. Alright? Okay, this time is for real. I'm going to get ready to go to the gym. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.